Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I am here today to give you another three-way comparison. This between three of the least expensive 85mm options on Sony E-mount. We have the Viltrox EVO 85mm f2 that I reviewed several months ago, which I think is fantastic. And then we have the two newest 85mm options from Meike. And so a little bit older is the 85mm f1.8 Pro lens, and then their newer release is the 85mm f1.8 SE Mark II. That is the least expensive of the bunch, as we'll see in just a moment, but we're going to see which of these three lenses makes the most sense if you're looking for an inexpensive 85mm lens. Now, as you can see, it is snowing yet again, so I'll be filming some of this indoors today and so that I can crunch the numbers for you and demonstrate different things. All three of these lenses have been sent to me by the various manufacturers for review and comparison. However, none of them had any input in my review process. This is an entirely independent review. Let's jump in and see which one of these 85mm lenses gives you the best bang for the buck. Now, on our first set of comparisons, we're going to take a look at the build, handling, size, weight, things like that. We'll start by taking a look at price, and price is where the new SE Mark II from Meike takes the win. You can get it for just $230 US. You're going to pay $275 for the Viltrox, and then for the Pro from Meike it is $340. So the most expensive by a decent margin there. Now, when it comes to size, the smallest here is the EVO lens. It is only 69mm in diameter and just 76mm long, whereas the two Meike lenses are considerably bigger. The Pro lens is 76mm in diameter and 95mm long, both. And then the SE Mark II is 76mm in diameter also, but it's 100.2mm, so just a little bit longer. I will note that both of the Meike lenses have a filter thread size of 62mm, whereas the Viltrox has a smaller 58mm front filter thread. And so when it comes to the size, definitely the EVO lens is the clear winner in terms of compactness. That carries forward into the weight as well, with the EVO weighing 340 grams. You know, it's very small, but it's dense because it's got a lot going on here, and it does have a very nice build quality. 340 grams. The SE Mark II weighs in at 369 grams, and our heavyweight here is the Pro from Meike at 389 grams. So again, when it comes to size, weight, the Viltrox EVO lens is the winner. It's also a clear and easy winner when it comes to the feature set. Its feature set includes having an AF/MF switch, having a custom or function button, not only having an aperture ring, but the ability to have that aperture ring clicked or declicked. This is a more high-end lens feature set, and it is the clear winner in that regard. On the Pro lens here, it basically has just the AF/MF switch, and then it has an aperture ring. No custom or function button, and it has no ability to declick that aperture. When it comes to the SE Mark II, there really are no bells and whistles here. It just has the AF/MF switch on the side, which I'm glad for that, but it is the clear third place when it comes to feature set, with the Viltrox as the clear winner. Now, things flip around when it comes to the quantity of aperture blades, with the SE Mark II having 11 aperture blades, while the EVO and Pro lenses have the more pedestrian 9 aperture blades. Now, when it comes to manipulating that aperture, the Viltrox is the winner. It's the only one, because of its ability to declick, that you can actually do aperture racking. And so that's one advantage it has that the other two lenses lack. When it comes to minimum focus distance, our closest focus comes from the SE Mark II, which can focus down to 65 centimeters and gives us the highest magnification of 0.15 times. Unfortunately, as we'll see later on in the image quality section, it's also unfortunately the weakest when it comes to its up-close performance. The EVO splits the difference between the two Meike options. It can focus as closely as 74 centimeters and has a 0.13 times magnification. The Pro lens can only focus as closely as 85 centimeters and has a fairly low 0.11 times magnification. So in that case, the win goes to the EVO to the SE Mark II for its close focus abilities, though unfortunately its performance doesn't necessarily back that up. There isn't really any kind of winner when it comes to weather sealing. They all do have a weather sealing gasket at the rear of the lens. The Viltrox does have a special coating on the front element, but I suspect that the Meike has lenses have something similar than that. And none of them claim to have any kind of internal seals. So they all have, in some ways a similar level of build quality, though the Viltrox feels the nicest. That may just be subjective, but it's the one that also, it's got all the things that the others do plus some additional features. And so after this first round, our winner going out of the first round is the EVO lens. It's got 4 points, whereas the SE Mark II has 3 points, and the Pro racked up 0 points in that first round. All right, let's talk autofocus here. Now, this is probably the metric where there is the least variance between these three lenses. All of them feature an STM, or a stepping focus motor. And what I found as I began to do all of the various tests I do as a part of lens reviews is that I found that focus speed was about the same. If there is any difference between them, it is a split-second difference, and so I couldn't really point and say here was a clear winner. And as you can see, shooting indoors and outdoors, all three of these lenses move with the same kind of basic pace, which is nice and fast. It's not the fastest, the most instantaneous I've seen, but it's very quick and moving from one focus point to another without any kind of hesitation or reluctance, so no problems there. What's more, I found when I switched over to the video side of things that the video AF was about the same. As I would begin to approach the camera using each one of these three lenses, I would approach, allow it to track me as I came close, and then I would, step in and out of the frame and watch how quickly it picked me back up. And as I went through my test across all three of these lenses, I found once again that I saw about the same results. That all three of them did a very good job consistently tracking me as I approached the camera. When I stepped out of frame, they went to the background. When I stepped back into frame, they snapped back onto my face. And so I found all three of them did a good job there. I found similar when I did things like my hand test that I would say maybe the slightest edge to the Pro, and I'm going to also give a slight edge to the Pro when it comes to video pulls. Mostly because I felt like it had just kind of the most thrust in going back and forth, and also it exhibited, along with the Viltrox, the lower levels of focus breathing. Now, when it comes to focus breathing, the SE Mark II actually has noticeably more than either the EVO or the Pro Series lenses, and so I'm going to give a point to both of them. They both have equally small amounts of focus breathing, I would say, whereas the SE Mark II is the loser there. And so in this, although it was very, very similar, we ended up getting a couple of points for the Pro when it comes to the autofocus, and another additional point for the EVO when it comes to its overall performance there, leaving us with a total at this stage of 5 points for the EVO, 3 points for the SE Mark II, and then a couple of points for the Pro that managed to get onto the leaderboard. We're going to start by taking a look at the actual bokeh quality, and my winner here is the SE Mark II. You can see that the bokeh circles, they are nice and clean inside. There is a little bit of external outlining, but it's not too bad relative to the others. On the right, you have the Viltrox, and while the Viltrox also has nice clean interiors of the bokeh circles themselves, what we find is that obviously they're not quite as soft and they're not quite as large because of a smaller maximum aperture there. And if we compare to the Pro version, if we zoom in and take a look at the Pro version, we see a fair amount of busyness inside there. And so I don't like the overall look of the bokeh quality there when it comes to specular highlights as well. And so a win to the SE Mark II on that front. I also give a win to the SE Mark II when it comes to the quality of the bokeh when it comes for portrait work. We can see here, if we zoom in for a moment, that as we'll explore a little bit later, number one, the SE2 is the sharper of the two mic options here. And so that is to its credit. But then also, as we look towards the background, we can see that it's delivering the softest specular highlights with the least amount of outlining over in this zone here. They are nice and soft. And if we compare to the Viltrox, we find that the Viltrox is even better in terms of sharpness and contrast, which we'll dive into in just a moment. But when we look at the autofocus backgrounds, you can see that there's a little bit more edging. It's not quite as soft a background as what we were finding from the SE Mark II. So a win for it in that metric as well. Now, when it comes to fringing, we find that the Viltrox is the winner in this metric. None of these lenses is too bad, but we can see a little bit more fringing here on the SE Mark II. When we look at some of these shiny bits and look in this area here, you can see a bit of fringing here, whereas the Viltrox has very little. Likewise with the Pro lens, you can see that it's got some fringing in some of those areas that stands out more so than what we are seeing from the Viltrox. And what's more, you can see with the Pro that it actually has some fringing around the specular highlights. And so in this case, I give the Viltrox the win here, with second place going to the SE Mark II and then third place going to the Pro lens. Now, when it comes to sharpness and contrast, Viltrox is always really amazing in this category. And you can see with the worst of the three lenses here, the Pro here on the right, we can see that the Viltrox is just blowing it away. If we stop the Pro lens down to f2, it doesn't really help. The Viltrox is still just obviously much, much better. And that's true in the mid frame. That is true down into the corners. It's true basically everywhere that I look, I find the Viltrox to be really strong. Now, if I put the SE Mark II here, the margin isn't quite as bad as comparing with the Viltrox lens, but it's still, the Viltrox is clearly the obvious winner in the center of the frame, in the mid frame, and then down into the corner. Here we have, while I would say here the Viltrox still stronger, right off near the edge is where the SE Mark II shows its one advantage there in terms of sharpness. But I found same results as I stopped the lenses down. The Viltrox is the obvious sharper lens throughout the range. Those of you that are keen of eye, however, may have noticed that when it comes to the light transmission, the Viltrox is the loser here. Both of the two mic options give more than just that 1/3 stop advantage. We can see here that we're looking at more of a 2/3 stop advantage in terms of light transmission, and so they are the brighter lenses quite easily. Now, how about in terms of contrast? If we zoom in with the two mic lenses, we can see that the SE Mark II is clearly delivering more detail in the eyelashes, the eyebrows, and the lips compared to the Pro lens that just isn't as sharp. Now, if we throw the Viltrox into the mix, we see that the Viltrox is just a little bit sharper and higher contrast here than what even the SE Mark II is, with just a little bit more detail in all of these places. In the hair, there's a little bit more contrast and delineation there. And so our Viltrox EVO is the highest contrast lens in the bunch. We can see even shooting at f2 with the EVO lens that it is able to produce just amazingly crisp results with beautiful, beautiful contrast. And so it is a definite winner when it comes to contrast. Now, while both of the mic lenses are quite good when it comes to a vignette, both of them have minimal amounts of vignette, with the Pro having the least and the SE having the second least, we can see that there's a pretty obvious difference when it comes to distortion. There is a fairly obvious amount of pincushion distortion for the SE Mark II, while the Pro lens is fairly neutral. The Viltrox is also neutral when it comes to the distortion. Both of these just need a -1 to correct, but you can see that the vignette is considerably heavier here. And so the SE2 is the loser when it comes to the amount of distortion, with both the Pro and the EVO lenses having lower amounts of distortion. Now, when it comes to the vignette side of things, our winner is the Pro lens that needed just a +16 to correct for the vignette in the corners, whereas I needed more like a +60 to correct for the Viltrox lens. The SE Mark II needed about a +21, so just a tiny bit more than what we see here on the Pro lens. Now, earlier we saw that the SE Mark II gives us our highest level of magnification, and you can see that here. Unfortunately, it isn't nearly as good as our second place winner in terms of magnification, the Viltrox, when it comes to the actual up-close performance. You can see that it's quite soft at its minimum focus distance, whereas the Viltrox is retaining good levels of contrast and detail. Likewise, the Pro, while it offers the lowest level of magnification, it is still quite good up close and is giving good detail and contrast, though not quite to the level of what we see from the Viltrox lens. So after this round, the Viltrox EVO picks up an additional 5 points, the SE picks up another 3 points, while the Pro picks up 2 points. And so in our final tally, the Viltrox has 10 points, the SE Mark II has 6 points, and the Pro lens ends up with just 3 points. Now, when it comes to the number one here on the pedestal, I am not particularly surprised. I was really impressed when I reviewed the Viltrox EVO 85mm f2, and I particularly love the fact that it just has so much going on in such a compact package. And I don't know that there is a better 85mm lens that I have ever tested, if that is part of the equation. If you want, great optical performance, good autofocus performance, nice feature set, and a really small package, this one is top tier. Now, it's not quite as bright as the others, and that goes beyond just that 1/3 stop aperture. I think it doesn't have quite as good light transmission as the other two, but in most of the optical metrics, it is either in first or second place at the least. The lens that actually surprised me is our second place finisher. And while I would consider the EVO to be the best package, I went into this thinking that the Pro lens from Meike would probably be the better because it just felt a little bit better, has a little bit more features. But in the final analysis, I actually found that this new SE Mark II from Meike was really quite a nice little lens. I reviewed the first generation 85mm f1.8 from Meike, and I was really unimpressed by that lens. This lens surprises me, however, and I would say this: if you're just looking for a really nice portrait lens, an inexpensive 85mm lens for portrait, I would actually maybe go with the SE Mark II because it doesn't have quite as much resolution contrast, but certainly plenty for portrait work, and it comes with just a little bit softer, more defocused background. And I would say that in portrait shots, generally, I found them just maybe a little bit more pleasing than the EVO. If you're looking for more of a general purpose lens, go with the EVO for sure. The lens that I would say that is left out of this comparison as the least likely that I would recommend would be the Pro Series lens. And that did surprise me, but the Meike Pro 85mm f1.8 just feels like it isn't quite at the same level as the other two optically, and thus it kind of started to fall out of consideration as I went through my test. As always, however, I hope that this has helped you in making a more informed buying decision. I do have full reviews of the Viltrox lens that are linked to in the description, and there are some buying links there for all three. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and let the light in.